Hello,
Hello.
hello, hello, guys. We are back. Literally, we were just here yesterday. We gave you a
Yep.
bonus episode that was actually like hilarious because it was all about you who follow us and hopefully you who are listening to us. And we gave some Patreon content. You want to tell the people what we talked about on Patreon?
Listen, y'all, we talked about everything down to Euphoria. We talked about Jocelyn's Cabaret. We talked about Jason Momoa and Lisa Bonet.
And Lisa Bonet and the MCU and the DCEU
Yep.
and the
The Spider
ABCDEFG,
the Spider-Mans.
the
Um,
Spider Verse. We were casting
yeah.
people, we were killing people. It was a great time. So subscribe to the Patreon. For $2, you can, just support us, but for $5 is when you get the extra content. So please go to patreon.com/BravolebriTEA and come and have a good time with us.
Yeah.
But
Cancel
now
your
we have,
Netflix accounts and subscribe.
yeah, because Netflix is literally going up in
Going up. That's
price.
what I was saying.
And you don't get what you get when you come to us.
Yeah.
With us, you get entertainment, you get laughs. And at $20, you get a happy hour too.
Yeah.
Where you can talk your shit about whatever the hell you want to talk your shit about.
And we're lit.
And we lit. But let's just get into it. There's a few things going on in the Bravoverse. But before we can get to the fun stuff, we obviously have to address shit that we always address. So I don't really understand why some people insist upon telling us or asking us where the outrage is or when are we going to address it, because we're kind of the first people to address things
right
when they happen, especially something as serious as this. Like, there are some things that we let slide because honestly, dude, being a Black person is fucking exhausting, and a Black person watching Bravo is fucking exhausting. So if we called out every single little thing, we would
be here
actually
all
have
day
no
and all
time.
night.
Yeah, we have no time. But something as big as this, as those posts, as terrible as they were, of course they were going to fucking say something about it. Like, what? That's just not going to fly here.
Absolutely
Never.
not.
So basically, it's about Jennie from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Some post resurfaced, but I think it was due because Mary Cosby had a Twitter Spaces, and Mary Cosby said controversial things on the Twitter Spaces, and she also mocked Jennie's accent, which is not okay at all. You already know we chastised her about the Mexican thug content, like not content, but comment that was like not okay. We chastised her about the slanted eyes comment, which was not okay, and her like repeating it. And we call people out because it's not just about Black people calling white people out. It's like anyone can make inappropriate comments. And when we see that, we want to correct that. But it was nothing as offensive and terrible as the things that Jennie posted to her Facebook page in 2020 at the height of the George Floyd upset.
Right.
And the reason that this is being brought up so passionately and, people really want her off the show is because of, her beef with Mary that's still going on, even though Mary didn't even show up to the reunion. It's like you're calling Mary out on these things, knowing in the back of your mind that you've said these
things like this.
So it's about being a hypocrite.
Yeah, being a hypocrite.
And also the disgusting things that she said. Aaron is going to read some of the posts that she posted, and she was standing straight behind them when she posted them on Facebook. They have been unearthed. And then she also, I will read the apology, but Aaron will read the terrible fucking posts. So
one of them is, if you follow the officer's orders, you won't get shot, which we already know is 100% a lie. We get killed all the time, and we're doing everything we're supposed to do. Most of us are just chilling in the car, just having a normal experience, a normal day, and then we get pulled over, and then just like that, our life is gone. So that was absolutely ridiculous. Then the second one, cops, lawyers make bombshell claims in George Floyd case. Body cam shows Floyd ingesting fatal amount of drugs before arrest. He died of overdose. So the fact that she is trying to defend this and defend what we've seen this.
It doesn't matter if I took fucking Flintstone vitamins, if a knee is on my neck and you are restricting airflow while there are other officers also restricting my body, I'm going to have adverse effects. So it doesn't matter if it was juice or if it was cocaine. Like, it doesn't matter what came out in that toxicology report. There's just no way that you can blame it on that. Like, that's stupid, ignorant, and I don't understand how a person could look at that post and then decide, this is it. I'm going to share it.
Let's post. Like, this the one.
This makes total sense.
It doesn't. And then the third, this is the last one. And this is the last one that we seen that I have. So who knows? Like, before.
Well, there's more.
I have more.
No, there's a lot more if you check Bravo Law Black. But it's like, we don't want to read all of them because they're just so horrible. So we're only going to share 3.
She's just being ridiculous.
An ass. Says
hundreds of blacks shot and many killed, including children, by other blacks every week. Over 1,000 officers violently injured, some permanently by rioters. Anarchist rioting in major cities every night, which has caused billions of dollars of destruction to private and public property. And you still think police officers are the problem. You are an idiot. So
she is the idiot.
We know
because this is the problem with that statement, is that anyone who argues about black on black crime would need to bring up white on white crime, Hispanic on Hispanic crime, Asian on Asian crime, any race on any race crime. The point is, we're talking about people who are trained, paid, professionally, supposed to help us in a time of need or even in a time of restraint. You are supposed to know what to do without killing someone, period. That has nothing to do with black on black crime. Like, nothing. So that wasn't valid at all. And on top of that, it's just like she posted anti-vax shit, which I think is very interesting, the anti-vax shit that she posted about, because to be filming, you have to be vaccinated. So on Facebook, you want to bump your motherfucking gums about, being anti-vax. But if you have all of that fucking energy, as soon as you got that call to be on Housewives, you're pro-vax? It was worth it then? To be on Housewives and to get embarrassed to have your husband want a sister wife? Well, now I see why he wants a sister wife, because look at this wife. But she did apologize, and this is why her apology can be kept and shoved up her ass, because this is what she said. I want to acknowledge and apologize for my deleted Facebook posts from 2020 that resurfaced today. At the time, I thought I was speaking out against violence, but I have since learned how offensive and hurtful my words were. It's why I deactivated that account more than a year ago, and why I continue to try to learn about perspectives different from my own. I regret these posts and am sincerely sorry for the pain they cause. So the statement that she released, because I'm all about people learning and will side eye an apology and, not really feel an apology, but this apology was not thorough or sincere enough, in my opinion at least, to equal the magnitude of the horrible and terrible things that she shared. That little statement was not enough. What are you doing differently? What have you learned? Where are you going to donate to? Why did you feel like you needed to share that in the first fucking place? And why do you feel that you need to come on Housewives and educate people about AAPI hate when you seem very anti-Black? And it always stings a little bit harder when it comes from a minority, because other minorities sometimes tend to see Black people as below them, when it's like, when it comes down to a racist white person, you're the same as us. So how are you a minority downing another minority?
It doesn't make any sense.
And I bet she had a lot to say when we were rallying, and we still are, for the fight against AAPI hate, when they were literally attacking Asian people on the street, and some still are. Yeah, we need to treat those as hate crimes. We need to talk about that too. But I bet you were bumping your motherfucking gums about that, but you didn't say shit about this, about yourself, you listening and learning. The thing is that if she never would have continued this shit with Mary, we would not have probably unearthed this. Because if this is the case, we would have unearthed this before she even got on the show. Because you know how Bravo Twitter and Bravo Instagram is. We do better research than Bravo, which I want to also call out, because a simple social media search, you could have fucking found that, but you don't do that. So now you have to deal with the wrath of the fan base because you didn't fucking do that. And there is a difference between a conservative opinion and a racist opinion. And that was a racist opinion, not a conservative opinion. You be conservative all you want to. This is not political. This was pure hate. And you perpetuated it. And then you thought you were going to get on TV. And then you thought you were going to be a warrior. You thought you were going to get on social media and continue to talk about it and get away with that.
And it's not happening. And the fact that she stood on it, like she stood on what she was saying because you felt comfortable enough to make multiple posts. It's not like, you know, you're just going on and you just see one thing that's like out of the ordinary. Then maybe I can be like, okay, maybe she just, you know, fucked up on her words, or like maybe, you know,
it's too much.
It might have been a bit more reasonable, but this, you know what you were doing. You knew what you were saying because you kept making posts about it. And it's just as simple as that. And now that you're caught, you want to issue an apology because everybody's in your ass and you probably want your spot on the show still. And I guess the question lies in, do we feel like she should be fired from the franchise because of these comments?
I personally don't want to see her anymore. I think that she's as bad as, those posts are as bad as Kelly Dodd. Like if she got out in front of it and was like, I fucked up, I'm now educated about it, I would side-eye her, I would have a steak face, but I'd like, okay, whatever. But this is just not enough. I don't want her on the show. I'm not interested in her storyline. I actually don't know, you know, I heard that they are filming, but I want this to be addressed on the show. But it's like, who's going to confront her about it? Because the blackest person there right now, since Mary quit, is Jen. And we don't need Jen addressing anyone about anything.
Please.
Because Jen
has her own shit going on.
Has her own shit to go through. And that's like one of her only friends in her corner. So I think that we need her off the show, ideally. And if she's going to be on the show, we need more Black people on this show and not like a Mary Cosby Black person. Because Mary Cosby wasn't all the way here. Like, jokes aside, she wasn't, she does not live on this plane of existence with us. Like, she's so far disconnected from real life that it's kind of like sad, and it makes you uncomfortable. It's scary. I truly believe sometimes, like, I hold her accountable, but at the same time, it's like, I'm looking at a person who was forced to marry their step grandfather, not only forced to marry them, but also forced to create life with him. and now all your tea is spilling, and the church is closed, and you're being accused of being racist, and then you're being accused of sending someone to feds. When I think it's fun to speculate about who tipped off the cops about Jen, but no one needed to tip off the feds about anyone. The feds know where the fuck we are. The feds know that we're recording this podcast right now. So, it's just, Mary's not all the way here, but Jennie is 100% here. And she was 100% bumping her fucking gums, pressing that, click-clacking and pressing that share button, and literally saying what she said. And that apology is not nearly as extensive as it needs to be. And I'm kind of tired of bullshit like Below Deck, where a bitch can literally say nigga and be white, and Bravo says nothing. And a bitch can literally basically say that Black people deserve to die because they don't follow cops' instructions, and Bravo says nothing. But Kenya wears Indian Native American attire, and which she apologized for, and she needed to apologize for, because that's appropriating culture. But Bravo made a statement on that. Shut the fuck up with this shit. Get the fuck out of my face with this shit. And I'm kind of sick of it. I'm honestly sick of it. She can go, that apology can go, and honestly, Bravo can fucking go too. They can go. I'm sick of it. I'm fucking sick of it.
I agree.
And that's just that on that.
Because it's only so many times. It's like, are we going to have to do this every year? Like, I can't. I was going to say I can only imagine. I can't imagine, actually, because there's no way I'm going to sit here for years and just constantly talk about the same shit that we already know.
Right. It's
vet
kind of
your people out before you put them on the show. Stop hiring racist people. Fire racist people.
Simple.
If they're not going to learn from it, if they're not going to truly grasp the concept of what they said and how it offended people and how it's not right, then kick their ass off the show. Because it's like, I feel like you could just literally get on Photo Grid and make a little caption and some shit and just post it in. And it's like, oh, okay. She apologized. Oh, okay. But when it's someone of color, it's like they have to get on. They have to do a live. They have to get on Watch What Happens Live. They have to explain to people everything. They have to do the most. They have to do the most. And it's like, people, they get chance after chance, especially with Ramona. As a matter of fact, they get spinoffs. So it's like,
they get spinoffs. They get welcome back. They get called icons.
So I just find that very funny and very strange.
It's very strange, and it's like, keep the same energy. Both Bravo and Jennie need to keep the same energy.
But and also, what I want to address too is I'm tired of people looking at us and saying, "Oh well," it's like, are you going to address it? Are you going to speak on it? Are you going to address it? Are you going to speak on it? Number one, we are a podcast, and of course, we want to bring to you the news. We want to give you the right information. We want to tell our truth and give our opinions, and we know right from wrong. But at the same time, it's like, put this pressure on the network that's actually hiring these people. Go to Andy Cohen's page and literally clickety clap, because he's the one that hosts the fucking Watch What Happens Live, and you can literally tell him everything you're telling us. But it's annoying just seeing this, like, getting on our page, and then it's like, oh, did you guys address this yet? Did you guys address this yet? Did you guys address this yet? This is what I want to talk about. Did we say it?
That's the thing that I have a problem with, is just that if we make a post that's not addressing exactly what happened in a timely manner, just it happened with the Below Deck thing. Even though I did make a post about it, it was more than stories, but this can only address some stories. But the point is that you are having hostility towards, this is not for y'all or listeners. Right. We're talking to the people that lost their fucking mind. You are having hostility towards the people that the violence is against, instead of the people that
Right.
created the
And that
violence.
is the main problem. It's like if I'm waking up as a Black person and I already have to worry about being Black in America, and then on top of that I have to worry about some shit that some racist ass person just said about my people, like, do you ever think that maybe today I don't want to address that? Maybe I have a little bit too much on my plate to address that.
Maybe we want to think about what we want to
Right.
say first. Or
And
maybe
then
we
address
just
it.
decide to skip it
Yeah,
completely.
because I mean,
Because
you're
we do
showing
want to
your ass
be.
every few months, so it's like this at this point it's overwhelming. It's like every month I'm opening Instagram and seeing some race. Oh, look what this racist said. Look at this racist ass shit that this person said. So it's like I don't want to. I don't want to keep doing that every day. Who does that?
Yeah.
What type of life is this? Like, we are not on the news. And I think that's what y'all need to understand too. Like, we are not on the news. We're not discussing this shit. We're not with Don Lemon and all these people.
I think that the thing that also is crazy about it, though, that bothers me personally, is that I addressed this shit as soon as I literally wiped the crust out of my eye on stories. Not only did I share exactly what she fucking said from at TBD, shout out to TBD. Not only did I share what she said, I also posted a fucking counterpoint to the dumbass post, which I should not have had to do in the first place. But I did it because I felt like, you know, that's what I wanted to say at that point. So it's like, you are coming to us saying, are you going to, on a post that has nothing to do with it, are you going to address what Jennie said? Yes. And guess what? We already did it. You're the one who's late. Are you going to address it? Because I don't see shit on your profile about it.
No, because they were so quick to run the hours and not even look at the fucking story. But, you know, y'all are gonna, one thing I'm learning is y'all are gonna do what y'all want to do, and guess what? I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do. So when I'm ready to talk about it, and when I'm ready to clickety clack and make my post about it, like whenever I feel like that may be, that's what I'm gonna do. But I don't need somebody running to our page and saying what we need to do and all this shit.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's kind of like, you guys know us. When something big fucking happens, even on shows that we don't watch Below Deck like that, like at all. And as soon as we heard what happened, we got on Instagram, we got on this podcast, we always speak up. So why even feel the need to, like, if you're bringing it up in a way that, hey, did you see this? I don't mind that. Like, because you're just trying to let us know, like, oh my God, did you see this? I'm so out, you know, I get that. Like, thank you.
But it's just
for bringing
like
it to our attention. But when you go to, are you going to address this? Like, my name is Andrew Cohen. Like, my name is Bravo
and pretty
TV.
much disregard our whole post, like our whole bonus episode.
Like, we didn't do shit.
I don't care. Did you see? I don't care about that. Oh, you don't care.
Aaron went off today, guys.
And I'll keep doing it. And I'll keep doing it because I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And enough is enough. And normally, y'all know I don't even say shit. Like, I will literally let
Aaron's
you say whatever you want to say.
Definitely, like,
I'm gonna let y'all say whatever y'all want to say because I believe social media is a place to express yourself and you should be allowed to do that. But once you start coming on my shit and telling me what I need to say, when I don't get any checks in the mail, like at all, that's where the problem lies. When I'm not on payroll. Now, if I was on payroll and I could hold a check, then I would definitely clickety clack and get my ass on and say what I need to say. But
I would offer my own apology.
Right.
If I was on payroll.
But that's not the case. You know, we are doing this as a service because we love talking Bravo and we wanted to create the space. So we have
Yeah, so we have a place for you guys to go and listen and talk and be outraged and have someone who relates to you. That's why we created this.
But I don't have to
when
do
you
shit
get
but be black. And that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. I don't have to do shit but be black. And that's it.
That's literally it. Like, I can't add shit to that. So fuck her, fuck that apology, get off the show. Right. And if she's not off the show, then it's whatever. I'll still watch it. Close. But I'm over it. Like, to me, she's done.
You're done.
Done.
Pack your shit. You're done.
You're done. Like, there's no recovering from that. You're like, you literally just went from, okay, it was kind of, you know, funny when she got the shoes and she gave Mary the shoes back, to now you're on the same list as Kelly Dodd. She's worse. Yeah, no. But I also don't want this to come across as, you know, like, it's like, I don't want you guys to blame all Asians or all, you know, like, I don't want this to be offensive to the Asian community at all. But I just want to say that Jennie herself as a person, she is done to us. She does not exist.
And it's just that simple. And we there's no need. There's no need. So yeah. I'm glad we could discuss this and talk about it.
And I mean, to those who want to, you know, yell at us and cuss us out and ask us how we're going to address shit, you can do that because it helps with the engagement. But just know that when you're loud, we're going to be louder.
Yeah. And I'm going to
because you caught Aaron on the wrong day.
And I'm going to ping your comment and make you look like a fool, a fucking buffoon. That's what you're going to look like. And I don't care. I don't care what anybody has to say, because number one, I know I don't say shit. Like, if somebody was like, oh, that was so rude, I don't care. Like, please pocket your feelings and understand that I just don't give a fuck. Like, that's something you're not going to do, because number one, we put time, we put effort, and we released a fucking bonus episode at the end of the day. Do you know that we have to edit that shit? Do you know that we have to, like, what we go through to post this shit? And then you're going to come on my shit and disregard what the fuck I posted because you want to hear about something else?
And it's like, we're black. We're the ones that she offended. And we're trying to literally create some art and create some distraction and create something positive.
If I wasn't at work, I would have been on live. Because that
I'm so glad you were at work.
As hell. Like, you have me fucked up. And Karen was like, oh, maybe we should, like, I don't know. Like, I'm like, no, we're going to get in that ass today, because you know exactly what you're doing. And you were being rude about it, because I gave you a chance to, like, kind of back the fuck up and realize what you were doing. You just kept going. So you started it, and I'm going to finish it. And I'll finish it every time. Because I have the time. If I don't have the time, I'll make the time.
Excuse me?
Okay. So Porsha's Family Matters.
Yeah, like, let's move on to that. Now that shit.
Come to meditation and do it. Sitting quiet ain't gonna change this shit. It is. Not.
That was wild. That was really wild.
The finale aired, but I didn't know it was going to be the finale, number one. Number two, you could tell that something went wrong because they were showing the show, things were moving, events were happening, and then all of a sudden it said 4 months later. 4 months later, Porsha sits down with Dennis, and they're both being petty, but especially Porsha. They start talking about how Porsha's moving. She recently moved, so that was a recent, they filmed that recently. So something happened in between where they had to stop filming the show. Clearly, because they probably couldn't get along. That's what it appeared to be.
Yeah.
And they just had this closure scene just for closure. Porsha did not promote the finale, did not really promote the show in general. It was a fucking mess. And a lot of people have gone from Team Porsha to Team Dennis, and also just Team Porsha to just not seeing Porsha in the same light anymore. What do you think about Porsha? What do you think about the show? And do you want another season? Because I personally, I want another season. I want a redemption season. I want to see some healing. I didn't like the way that it ended. I feel bad for Pilar. So I can watch more of it. But what do you think?
Right. Well, I think my answer, like, I would have to say I don't want to necessarily see the Porsha family matters, but I would like to see her back on Housewives. I just think she just needs to go back to Housewives and just tell her story there, because there's no point of having a whole separate show for that, especially when this is a conversation that they need to really handle in therapy. Like, that's what they need to do. They need to
It was too raw and soon.
Way too much. And then it's just like, I feel like the audience and me personally, I'm not gravitating towards Simon at all, not even the least bit. He has not added anything to the show at all. Just that simple. This was Dennis's show. This was not Simon's show at all. And that's who I enjoyed the most. Now, as far as Porsha, I mean, I don't feel like the show was a good look for her at all. Like, I 100% feel like it made everybody turn against her, because you're seeing so many negative things about her. Like, number one, coming into this was already like, we were already kind of side-eyeing her because of the whole Fallon situation and all of this. So then it's like, once you add the fighting, the fussing, like, you know, her and his mom, and then just like the 4 months later, you could tell during that point, especially with the last 2 episodes, like, what was that?
It's because I'll tell you what it was. It's very clear that after Mexico, there's kind of like no coming back. There's no bouncing backs from that.
Right.
Like, yes, you guys have to co-parent, but you're not in a spot where you can be on TV and have your families together and do the fake apologies and do all that shit, because you guys can barely sit in the same room with each other. So that's why the show couldn't continue in that way, especially so soon after Mexico. Mm-hmm. And I also feel that maybe she thought about how she would come across, and it very much looks like she might not be over Dennis. And Dennis is not over her either. It goes both ways, right. But it looks bad for Porsha because she's the one who is engaged to be married in a new house with her former co-star's ex-husband.
It's a lot. I'll be honest, it's a lot. The show is a lot.
So the fight in general was shocking and out of place for, I feel like, a Bravo moment, I guess. But you know, the girls in Jersey they hustle.
Yeah, they definitely get down. I wasn't even like rattled about. Like, yeah, it was shocking and it was a lot, but I just feel like it just comes down to, if your point was trying to prove to everybody that, you know, you're in a stable relationship now and that you're figuring things out, this was not the move. That's what it comes down to. Yeah, it looks like the total opposite. Why are you that
mad? And also, when she told the family not to talk about things, right, that only made things worse, because it looks like you're trying to control the narrative. And when you try to control the narrative, you're not the person with the camera, so you can't tell the story. So I would have spoke my ass up. I would have conjured something up, because she did not want to speak to the cameras at all. She told her family not to talk about it at all. And when you start doing that kind of shit, that's when production gets mad. And that's when production steps in and it's like, we maybe could have kind of helped you with this, but now that you literally said nothing and told us that you weren't going to talk about it, and you told your family not to talk about it, and we have to put a show together, guess what? You're going to look like the villain. We're going to show the real you.
I'm also just hoping she's nothing like how she is in this show. Because if this is
a bad time.
Yeah, because in Housewives, it's like Porsha was way more likable. I don't know if it was just the people that she was around, but just on this show, the tone was like, she was very snarky, very sarcastic, very just like petty. It was all of this was petty, even with the whole robe situation. It's like, and I understood some of her points, but I just felt like this was dragged out and created a lot of mess and probably ruined a lot of the relationships in their family, in their actual family. Because now you have your cousins on, you have your aunts on, and they all have to.
Your aunt talking about your mom on TV. Like the Hosea side is looking down upon the other side. And then you have the feud with your baby daddy, and then you have the feud with your, like, within yourself. Like, why did I react this way? Why am I acting this way? And then you have how you're going to look on TV, and then you have to worry about this man. Like, is he going to leave me because I literally like lashed out for no reason? And also, I don't know, like during the fight, I'm sorry, for me, Simon rubbing Dennis's back while he's trying to beat Porsha's ass, I would not, while they are literally going back and forth and Simon is rubbing Dennis's back, and you were reminding.
It was very strange. That's why I say Simon is just added nothing to the show.
It's out of place.
So that's why I kind of don't want to see another season, because it's like, if they're gonna make it about her and Simon, I don't really want to see that. I honestly think she needs to get whatever money she's gonna get. And I hate to be this like raw and uncut, I guess, and just move forward.
It just sucks because like she was promoting her book, she has her sheet line, she has her hairline, and then now it's like she also did all that work. But this is what I also want to say, like, because of her issues with her situationship does not take away from her activism,
right?
You know, her family's name or anything. It looks bad for them, obviously, because she was portrayed herself one way on the season, and then we see her on the show and she's hustling and tussling. But that doesn't mean that, you know, people don't have to be one-dimensional. Like, there can be two truths at a time. She can care about social justice, and she can also care about trying to fight her baby dad.
That's true.
But overall, it was a lot, and it was a show. It wasn't what I expected. I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't know if that's a bad thing. I just know that I watched every episode at least twice, and that's all
what I'm saying. I mean, I seen the finale and I was like, okay, like that's all I could say. I don't know. I just didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to think about it.
A very lost feeling.
And even the relationship with her cousin, I'm like, you fired your cousin? Like, all of this is just very strange. I'm like, is it true? Is it not true? Because she didn't deny it. It's like she just said she didn't remember it. So I'm like,
I don't recall.
I don't know. All of it just looks bad. I don't get why she would just put it, because honestly, if I made a show and my show season was anything like that, I would literally just be like, just wrap that and actually, never mind. We don't have to do it. No, we don't have to do it anymore. No. It's like, hey guys, I was supposed to come out with the show, but unfortunately that did not work out. So we're gonna move forward. Here are my new sheets. Like, that's very much what she should have did. Like,
we didn't get past the pilot. You know, I have something else to do. I'm actually coming back to Real Housewives of Atlanta instead. So stay tuned for that. And love you.
Yeah. But maybe they might put her on like a ultimate girls trip. Maybe they might go there. I would actually like to see that though before they put her back on, because I think that gives us the time to see her just by herself. And I think that's what we need. Like, I would love to see her interaction with the housewives, because that's what we like her for. We like her banter, her back and forth with the other ladies. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, and another family. All right, so Porsha is going to Ultimate Girls Trip. Now, we need to talk about the Summer House premiere.
Very
that gave exactly what it needs to give. Because I will say, I had my doubts about it, because whether you want to admit it or not, if you go back on season 5, I think it was the last season, there is no show without Hannah Berner.
Yeah.
Sorry. She made all the, even as ridiculous as it was, she made the entire show. But they proved us wrong by not only adding new people in the mix, but also giving us the Kyle and Amanda storyline. And that boy from Southern Charm and Paige storyline. And Lindsay is like situation that not coming at all. I think she's very brave for like admitting that on TV, because at first when they were they all come to the Summer House. I think that it's going to go back to the original form, which is they usually go to the Hamptons for the weekends and the weekends only. But last season they just all filmed together because they were quarantined. I think that they might be going back to the city and then coming to the Hamptons for the weekends. But if not, I'm fine with them living together. That's a nice ass house anyway.
It is.
So they all, there's a new Black girl, Maya. There's Paige. There's a new guy. What's his name? There's a new guy. There's Carl, Lindsay, Kyle, Amanda, Sierra, Danielle.
Yes, Danielle.
And then we get Andrea from Winter House. So we have a lot of people there. The new girl's name is Maya, and the guy's name is the new guy, Alex. He ate a pound of ground turkey. He's like a physical like workout person. He's very in shape, very hot, just like Andrea. He's Andrea's friend. And they introduced Maya as Paige's friend. And they all went out to dinner. Everyone was asking about the status of their relationships. And Carl asked Lindsay the status of hers with Jason, because the last time we saw her, she was with Jason from Winter House, the Black guy. And she was just like very rude about it. She was like, I'm dating, what? Leave me alone. Like, it was just like, what?
Her interview
Lindsay's
was off
rude,
the whole
but
episode.
Yeah. Lindsay's rude, but it was like different. It was like out of place rude. So she admits to Carl, who now she is dating, they are in a relationship, that she had a miscarriage. And like it all happened over the course of her finding out that she was like pregnant. On Monday, she started miscarrying on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday, she was in the hospital. And a lot of women don't talk about miscarriages. Like, it was very brave of her to admit that. And you can tell that she has to heal from that, because that was very recent. So kudos to her for being brave and sharing her experience, because it's something that a lot of women go through that like scar them for life. So it was like her behavior excused all season for me. I don't care what she does. Like, she literally just had a miscarriage. So
yeah,
that's a lot to fucking deal with. But the
the
other storyline, please tell the people about these fools, Kyle and Amanda.
So, Kyle and Amanda. I guess Amanda got upset. Not even I guess, because it was clear that she's upset. Kyle came in. They went to this event, and Kyle decided to stay behind. And she was expecting him to come home at a certain time. He did not come home. And it was a whole bunch of rah-rah. She was in the bed with the girls. They were laying down together. And
they were like the fucking Powerpuff Girls, and he came in like the professor.
Yeah, and he's like, he just looks at them, and then he goes and does his thing. And then they like scatter, and then all of a sudden she's in the guest bedroom. But
she put his shit outside first, which I definitely love. She broke some of his shit.
I don't feel like that was the thing to do, especially since they had already established that they were going out and they were having like a fun time. It wasn't like set in stone that he was supposed to come home at that time.
But so if the people that you went out with
right,
are back at the house. Every single person that you went out with.
Yeah.
And you know nobody there.
That's true.
Why are you not at home? And you're engaged to be married, and you're about to be married in 2 months. So please, I want to know, like, from your point of view, why is that okay?
This is the thing. It's okay because she knows the type of man that she's marrying. We know that Kyle gets drunk. We know that Kyle shows his ass and he enjoys partying. That, in my opinion, that does not necessarily, he could very well be cheating, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's cheating. I'm imagining Kyle just like pissing in somebody's bush, like randomly and staying behind. And he
right, but if I'm calling you 27 times,
right,
and you don't answer one of them, and you're drinking, and you have a history of cheating, and you know that, and we talked about that in therapy, and you're still doing the same thing.
But he's
you think I'm not gonna? You're not here. That I can't fuck you up because you're not here.
But here's the thing with Amanda: when is enough enough? If this is somebody that keeps doing this, and you know this is this person's behavior, right. You still went through and said, like, yeah, this is the person that I want to marry. If I'm dating somebody and I see them doing things like this, and then we go to therapy and I still see their drinking patterns and them wilding out and shit like that, and I don't like that, then I'm going to remove myself from the situation. I'm not going to continue it and keep complaining and acting as if like I didn't already know this. And that's what she has a tendency of doing. Like even at the table when he's like discussing their finances and things like that, and he's saying all this shit, she's like, Kyle, stop. Like, you already know what type of man this is. How many seasons are we going to do this until you realize it? The episodes are on demand if you want to go and you want to look.
She was on it.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like, if you need like a reminder, go binge the last few seasons and look at yourself.
Yeah, because
it's time to take a step back and take some ownership, because you're enabling this behavior at this point. If you keep going along with it.
Yeah. And she also ended up marrying him. So it's like, not like you're not going to marry him.
That's what you want.
This is my theory, though. There was a contract. In the words of Jocelyn, that they will pay back her dad had they decide not to get married. And I believe that that contract is the only reason that they got fucking married.
Because they didn't want to pay that money back?
They didn't want to pay that money back. Because if you are talking, you're at the table talking about you $4 million in debt, and you're going to add a wedding on top of that shit?
Do they have to pay it back? That's what I want to know. If they get a divorce, do they have to pay it back? Is this going to be like Joe Biden's nephew or whatever?
Oh my God, yeah, fucking Cuff Owens. What the fuck that is?
That what it's going to be like? Because if so, I get it. I mean, I won't want to pay that shit back either, but...
Yeah, I would definitely get married if I had to pay the money. Yeah, fuck that. But at the same time, it's like, wow, that's crazy, because she was also talking about how a few weeks prior, he was doing the same shit. He was getting so drunk that her parents had to call her a car. And this was before y'all got to Summer House. This wasn't because y'all were at Summer House, because you could, he was on Watch What Happens Live, and he said he was blaming it on, oh, it was the first night out, I was excited. He said that I looked at the phone, she called 14 times, and then I put the phone back down because he didn't want to deal with it. And it's just like, he made the decision not to answer her calls and to do whatever the hell he wants to do.
But as a person, you have to take matters into your own hands and be like, is this something that I want to continue tolerating? And obviously it is if she keeps dealing with it. So now I'm looking at you. What you gonna do?
Yeah, they very much remind me of Katie and Schwartz. Because remember when Schwartz would do that dumb shit and then Katie would do that dumb shit?
But you see, but here's the thing too, and you even see it in the current seasons now. Katie is constantly dealing with the same shit.
She just needs to look at Vanderpump Rules And they're over there worried about
Watch your show and do yourself a service.
Watch another show too. Watch your network mate. Go to Vanderpump Rules. Watch Katie and Schwartz in seasons like 3 and 4 and 5. And see what you're in.
My thing is, we're on camera. So if you continue making me look like a fool, I'm gonna be like, okay.
Yeah, because now it's like I'm not getting embarrassed.
I'm not going to be humiliated on TV, but I guess if that's what keeps them on TV, I guess like girls shoot for the stars. But I mean,
no, we would definitely be here for a single Amanda, because every time that we have Amanda, it's not single Amanda, it's Amanda with Kyle.
But I feel like all she's going to do is just hook up with somebody like Craig or Austin.
Come on, like. Enough.
Well, you know it's true.
Southern Charmers.
I think we all know it's true. Because they recycle them in. They're just like, oh, you want them? You don't want them this year? Okay. I'll take them back to the summer house. I don't know why y'all are like that. I guess it's because it's COVID, but
not even because it's COVID. I think it's because I guess you're getting paid for it and you love the drama and you love the money, but
realistically,
Amanda doesn't need the money though. Her parents are fucking rich, so I guess she just likes to be on TV.
If that's what you like,
well, you got it.
If that's what you like, Amanda, go ahead.
I just think it was very entertaining that she put his shit out and she broke his shit in the room. And I co-sign it. Sorry. Like,
I wonder if she went to Urban Outfitters like the very next day. And did she replace like some of his belongings? But Kyle looks like more of a Tilly's kind of guy.
She works at Urban Outfitters. He works at Tilly's, and that's why they could never get along. They're
star-crossed lovers. He's definitely a Hurley or Tilly's kind of guy.
Yeah, Hurley for sure. Like with the fucking skateboards on the wall.
Yeah.
Oh, God, shout out to Hurley. Are you around still?
They provided enough.
I mean, that's Summer House in a nutshell, because I can't remember anything else. Alex, the new guy, he ate a pound of ground turkey. And that was basically his storyline. They went to go get some food. Oh, and Andrea has a crush on Paige, but Paige is now casually dating Craig, and we know that she is still with Craig now. And that's her storyline. Sierra is still thinking about Austin, thinking about moving to New York. She moves to New York. Danielle is happy with Robert. I'm happy for her because I want to see her in a relationship. I want to see her working. I want to see her chilling like she always does. She's like the calm to all of
I want to see that scene with her and Sierra.
We know. We know.
You know what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. And I'm so glad they it's like they knew. I feel like they made this trailer and they put like the teaser before the episode because they knew. They're like, okay, here you go, Aaron. This is what we're gonna have in the future. So just stay tuned and just deal with it for now, and then we'll get to it soon.
Yeah,
because we needed that motivation.
Sierra has moved to New York, so if you guys have wondered if she made the move or not, yes, she has. And what else happened? That's basically all that happened in the house, and that's pretty much Summer House. So we will be tuning in. It's good to me. It's giving to me. That was a great premiere. I did not expect that premiere, and they are doing just fine without Hannah. As much as I love the drama, I'm loving this drama too. Yeah. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, I'm sure Hannah will be back in later seasons. That's why I'm not like, I'm just like, you
think 100% she's coming back?
For sure.
Oh my God, hot take. Hot take. So that'll be our pot stir. Do you think that Hannah will come back? Because it's so funny that you say that. Dumois, obviously the gossip goddess, posted that someone heard that her and Des broke up. Hannah then wrote in and said that they did not break up. So I'm like, who is thinking about Hannah and Des at a time like this?
Absolutely nobody.
When that premiere was so good.
Absolutely nobody.
She did that shit herself.
That she knows. So she's like, oh,
She wrote in the tip. She wrote in the tip. And then she wrote in the response.
Like,
and you know what? I kind of stand because it's like
same.
Sometimes you have to create rumors about yourself to get people talking.
And Wendy Williams would tell you that herself.
Yes, and I miss Wendy Williams. May she fucking get better soon, please, because it has been so boring without her.
It has.
No one. It's not even so boring
because we can't rely on the real.
No, like I love Garcelle.
Yeah, I want to make that clear.
There, but nothing can touch Wendy Williams.
And I know Jeannie Mai just had her baby with Jeezy, and congrats, Jeannie. But you know that's
yeah, that's neither here nor there. And you know they fired Tamar Braxton 4 years ago. We're just talking about the real.
I literally thought you were going to say they rehired her and fired her again. Like,
no, I would like to create that narrative, but no. And you know that Tamara left, and her husband is not a racist.
Tamara Housley.
So, guys, let us know if you think Hannah will return in later seasons, and we are going to go and eat some food, and we'll be back very soon. Thank you so much, and please rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and slide into our DMs and cuss us out, and you know you might just get cussed back out. That's just the
problem. And that's just that.
Yeah, and it is what it is.
Simple as that.
All right, love you. Bye.
Bye.